Are we ready? Do you have your seatbelts on? It is my Q&A. You have asked, I'm here to answer. You've asked me about my housework, about my Cypriot heritage, about other YouTubers. Well, let's get started. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is the long anticipated Q&A. Actually, to be totally honest, I was really quite frightened to post a Q&A because I thought, what if nobody asks me a question? And actually, when I first put it on my Instagram stories, the questions were quite slow in coming. But anyway, I have enough to make a video. So to all of you that have taken the time to ask me a question, that are interested enough to ask me a question, thank you, and I will be answering them. And you know me, I'll answer and with so much more. But before we get onto all of that, I invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. Whilst you're there, you can ring my bell, which will notify you every time I upload a video. Okay, go grab yourself your favourite beverage, because I think this is going to be a long one. Cheers! Low alcohol. Specifically chose low alcohol for this video. I'm honest enough without, you know, alcohol bringing out everything. Right, okay, let's get started. Okay, in no particular order, I have a question here from Bits and Bags, who is also a YouTuber. So she asks, tell us one regret, one hope, one success. Okay, one regret. Okay, so I don't, if I had to be honest, and I am going to be totally honest in this video, I don't really have any major regrets in my life. Now, I once asked my dad this question, and I said to him, Dad, do you not regret anything you've ever done in your life? And his answer to me was, Andri, the only thing I regret is that I can't do it all again. That was his answer, and that told me a lot. So, do I have a regret in life? Actually, I don't have any regrets in my life, because, you know, I'm a great believer in things happen for a reason. So, I don't have any real major regrets in my life. Anything that has happened, I have learnt from it. And, you know, I think, you know, because of the age that I'm at just now, I'm 56 years young, and I have learnt a lot. And I have learnt a lot because of things that have happened in my life. And it's easy for me now at this stage to say, yes, I would have done that differently, but that's because of where I am at now. And that's what life is about. Life is about things happening, learning from them, and moving on. So, you know, and I have learned that is life. So, do I have any regrets in my life? Not really. I've been kind of lucky in my life, so no regrets. One hope. One hope. At the moment, if you ask me right now, what are you hoping for? For me, it's, I need COVID to leave. Just go. That's all. Right now, that is my hope. I just hope COVID leaves and we can get back to some sort of normality. I want to be able to hug my children. I want to hug my boys, my girls, my grandchildren, and not worry. I want to hold Georgie's hand, Anna's hand, Theo's hand, and not have to sanitize my hands. I cannot believe I'm having to do that. I haven't seen Anna and Theo like in real life for but I can't remember when the last time, I think it was last year at some point when we went to Milton Keynes, and it was at a time when we were allowed to mix, and Rico and I decided we were going down, and even at that, you know, we had COVID over us, worrying about it because it was still around. I need COVID to go. So that's honestly at this precise moment, that's my hope. I hope to get back to some sort of normality, that kind of worry-free, of not worrying about everything we touch, everything we bring into the house, everybody we, you know, that's at the moment, that's my hope, because I'm all about living in the moment, and at the moment, that's, for me, that's my hope. Success, one success, you know, success means different things to different people at different times of their life. So for me, you know, because I was somebody that struggled to have children, because I kept miscarrying, and I felt that need to desperately want a child, and I had that feeling of maybe I might not be able to have children. So for me, having children, that for me was, it was the most amazing moment for me to be able to be a mum. For me, honestly and truthfully, that for me is success. And yes, you know, being successful in business, or being successful at school, or being, you know, it's at different times of your life, success means different things. And you've asked me for one, and for me, it's being a mum. That's my success. It really is. Am I sounding boring? But that's just me being honest. Okay, then again, Bits and Bags asks, what did you want to be when you grew up? Is there anything you would do over differently? And I'll start with the second question there. Is there anything I would do over differently? And I think that goes back again to the first question of regret. No, because everything I've done, I've learned from. So I can sit here and say, would I do anything differently? No, that was my life. That's what was mapped out for me. And no, I wouldn't do anything differently. You know, of course, many things that have happened in my life where now again I would go, I would have done that differently. But at the time, that's the path that I chose. That's how I chose to handle it, and that's what taught me how to handle it differently the next time. And with that, I have tried to pass on to my children the things that I have learned because of the mistakes that I have made, in the same way my mum and dad did with me. What did you want to be when you grew up? And I was never one for having major dreams of wanting to be this, that or the other. Now, of course, if you asked my dad, he would just say to you, my daughter's going to be a lawyer. I was never academically gifted in that way. I had many other qualities, but I was never an academic. So the things I was good at school was sports and acting. Now, I went to a school down, my dad's work was down in the West End, so my school, my primary school, was down in the West End, and they used to put on a lot of plays, and it was very much about that. And I was good. I was good at acting at that age, but it wasn't something I would have been encouraged to do. So I never ever kind of would even have attempted to have said to my parents that's what I wanted to do. But anyway, so I didn't really ever think to myself, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to do. But yeah, anyway, next question comes from Eleni Trifon. I'll put it here. She asks, what's the best thing from your Cypriot heritage? To put that simply, to answer that simply, I would say that having a Greek Cypriot heritage is the best thing. That I've actually got that now and love it and have learnt to love it, because growing up in London, I always felt very different, you know, in comparison to the other children at the school. I always felt different. The food I used to eat was different, and you know, at that time, you know, like the foods weren't as multicultural in the supermarkets as they are now. So even like when supposing I had watermelon, I didn't even know how to say watermelon in English, because all these foods that we ate at home, we always use the Greek words, and I wouldn't say a watermelon or kohlrabi or taro root in the books that I was reading at school. You'd never see all these sorts of foods, so I never ever learnt what these things were called until I kind of grew up. I mean, taro root, I've only recently learnt what it is in English, because to me it was gologasi. And the kohlrabis as well, and if you follow my vlogs you'll know the path I've been on these kohlrabis. You know, I never ever learnt, because we always use the Greek words for them. So I always felt very different, because the food I ate was very different to what I was seeing in the books that I was reading at school, to what other children, you know, what did you eat at the weekend? I had this, that, and the other. What did I have? I had bizelya med all this, you know, which is a pea casserole, or fasulya, which is, you know, things like your haricot beans and all of, you know, gubebia or dolmades, however you like to call them, just stuffed vine leaves, you know, sheftalya, which is another kind of sausage type thing that you use, kind of the lining of an animal's skin, and you know, all these things. So can you imagine me as a child trying to explain what I had, you know? So I always felt very different at that time, whereas now I am very, very, very proud of my Greek Cypriot heritage. So there's not one specific thing. I mean, now I feel so proud that I'm bilingual, that I have this culture, and I'm also very, very proud that my sons are proud of it now as well, you know, and they embrace it. And in fact, so do my daughter-in-laws as well, and I hope my grandchildren do too. So just the fact that I have my Greek Cypriot heritage is the thing that I'm most proud of. Next question comes from my friend here, Desi Blonde 4Z, and she asks, when you have been unwell, Andri, do you still worry about your cleaning routine? Now the quick answer to that is yes, but I'm trying to get better at it. Now let me explain why I am quite fanatical about my cleaning. It's because I'm lazy. I think that's why. I honestly think that's why, because I feel if I stay on top of things and I keep doing things, then they don't get dirty, so it's not hard work to clean them. So it's much easier to do things on a weekly basis rather than let something get dirty before you clean it. So for example, I clean my windows every week, including my windowsills. So I don't just dust over my windowsills, I do the whole window in the whole house every week. So, you know, and it's not a great big thing to do because generally they're clean, you know, unless, you know, it's been that time of year with flies come in and, you know, they zzz on my windows. But generally it's quite easy to do. Same with the lampshades, a quick dust over because I'm doing them every week. Same with moving the beds, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, that's why I tend to keep on top of things all the time. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying not to be like that, because I do feel as if I waste a lot of time week in, week out. Anyway, if I'm in my bed and I don't get up and do housework, I'm really, really, really bad. Okay, let's move on. Next question comes from Sarah. So it's _S_A_R_AA. She says, hi Andri, my question is, how are you so confident, and how do you deal with situations when you have to do something new outside your comfort zone? The reason I'm asking is because I have an exciting opportunity to work at a big company, which is my dream. I'm scared and don't feel confident and want to smash it big time. You had your own business, now YouTube, and I would like your point of view. Thank you. First of all, congratulations, and you can so do this. So you obviously think you can do the job because you've applied for the job. And you've obviously got the job, so somebody else thinks you can do the job, so of course you can do the job. As for confidence, I was brought up to be very confident. Something I've always had. I've always been really quite a confident person, and I think that's got to do with my upbringing. Now, as for out of your comfort zone, you know, every new situation, you're out of your comfort zone. Until you settle in and have got used to it, then every new situation, you're out of your comfort zone. So that's just part of life, and learning something new is part of life. So, and it's part of the excitement. So yeah, a lot of us do things that are out of our comfort zone, but that's the fun part of it. That's the part that makes you feel like you have achieved. Because if you just did things that you were used to and that you knew how to do, then it gets pretty boring. It's boring. Like for me, this YouTube thing was something very new, and I learn with it every day. As for our own business, a lot of the time, you know, there was times, even though it was a business that I knew well, there was a time when, you know, for me, I was out of my comfort zone, but I learned and I dealt with it and I became good at it. So for example, I worked front of house right from the beginning. I started at hanging up the coats and moved on to taking drinks orders, to being behind the bar, to then working beside Rico as his sidekick, basically. And but the thing is, when I had Rico beside me, I could always fall back on Rico. So if somebody asked me a question that I didn't know the answer to, I would just say, hold on, I'll just get Rico for you, and that was okay. Then when we took over the business, Rico decided he was going to move into the kitchen and be chef, to control the food that was coming out. He wanted to take control of the food. And he said to me, you will be front of house. You will have to deal with everything front of house. And I was like, but what if somebody asks me about a wine that I don't know about? What if somebody asks me this? He says, you're just going to have to deal with it. You've been doing it all this time. And he says, you're just going to have to do it, and that's it. And for me, that was out of my comfort zone, because I didn't have Rico to fall back on. I couldn't run into the kitchen or bring him out of the kitchen and the chef's gear to, you know, tell somebody about a certain wine and where it came from and how it grew, and, you know, because these are the questions that you get asked. And you know, it got a lot harder in the kind of restaurant trade because of all these cooking shows and wine shows, and everybody thinks is an expert, and everybody thinks they know more than you know, and all of that. So I felt really quite out of my comfort zone, but I got over it, you know, because I was then in a position where people were coming to me for questions. My staff, my front of house staff, were coming to me for those questions which I had to have an answer for. I couldn't let my staff think I didn't know what I was doing. But that's what makes a new opportunity exciting. That's the exciting part of it, being out of your comfort zone. So you've got this, girl. I'm saying to you, you've got it. You know, you obviously think you can do it because you've applied for it and somebody else has given you this job. So go out there and do it, and don't worry about being out of your comfort zone at all. That's actually the fun, exciting part of it, because you know, you'll be in that job for a few months and it'll be like water off a duck's stone, you know. Anyway, so you've got this. Well done, you. Congratulations. Okay, next questions comes from E.S.Lord1. And she says, would you ever consider going back to Cyprus to live in your property on a permanent basis? Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I have a house in Cyprus and I have land in Cyprus as well, not just where the house is but elsewhere. So I have good opportunities if I wanted in Cyprus, which at the moment I'm trying to pretend are not there, and it's not happening because it's a lot of pressure for me just now with what's going on. I can't get out there, I can't sort things out. I'm having a lot of people approach me to buy the property out there, and the problem is with the property, with the land where the house is, which was my mum's house in Cyprus, which she gave to me and she inherited from her dad. So I have the house in Cyprus with the land which faces the river, and for me, that has a lot of sentimental value, and I'm not in a position where I have to sell any land. I'd rather that amount of money was in land than it's sitting in the bank just now, because it's basically not making any money in the bank and I have no need for it, thankfully. Right, so let's go back to the actual question. Would you ever consider going back to Cyprus to live in your property on a permanent basis? Probably not. Probably not. For me, the way of life in Cyprus is very, very different to my way of life here. I sometimes think I would love a holiday home in Cyprus, but again, I know it's a lot of work to keep a property abroad. It really is a lot of work. Like at the moment, you know, the house and the lands in Cyprus are costing me money. I'm not making money on them. You know, I had started fixing the house up and getting it ready to rent out in Cyprus, so at least it would be making me money. But then with all of this carry on, I can't see that through. And I'm very much my dad's daughter, where I don't trust anybody to do anything. I have to be there and kind of oversee it all. So that's the position I'm at now. Would I live in Cyprus permanently? No. I would like to come and go between Cyprus and here, whether it be to that property or to another property, a more modern property. Yeah, I would like that, and I would like that so the boys have still got something that connects them to Cyprus as well. That's my thoughts on it. I don't ever see myself living in Cyprus permanently. I don't. My home is here. This is where I feel at home at the moment. So I don't see my future being in Cyprus. I was like, see, I need to learn to zoom. I really need to do that. Okay, next question. 1650 Forever. We have another YouTuber here. She says, do you see your style changing as you have gotten older? Are there any things that you would put aside because of your age? I would have always said no. There is nothing. If you feel comfortable in whatever you're wearing, if you feel comfortable in whatever you're wearing, that there isn't an age limit. It has nothing to do with your age. I don't know, it depends how you put an outfit together. For me, it's more about how you put an outfit together and how comfortable you feel in it. So no, I don't really, my style is my style, and as long as I feel comfortable in it, probably no, I really don't, because I really thought I had stopped. It's like I recently did a Zara haul and I put a dress on and I felt it was too short for me, and I think that's because, you know, if it was a dress for my holidays, then it would have been okay, but I wouldn't wear a short dress like that without any tights. You know, it just depends how you put the outfit. You know, I have my style and that's my style. So do you see your style changing as you have gotten older? No, I still do my makeup the same way I've always done it. I put makeup on and I just kind of add and I blend, and I, you know, it's just how it, just when I see something, I know if it's right and I know if it's wrong, basically. My next question, another YouTuber, more Mandy J, and her question is, oh, I love that you're doing this. I'd like to know, why did you start a YouTube channel and what's the best thing about it? Okay, I recently started a tag video which basically asks all other YouTubers why they started their YouTube channel. It's a very interesting video. I will have it linked below, and Mandy, you should be doing the tag too. I have spoken lots of different times in different videos as to why I started my YouTube channel, and it wasn't until Patricia asked me on that video a specific question about why I started my YouTube channel that I thought about it, and I said to Patricia in the comments there, I simplified as to why I started my YouTube channel. So I started my YouTube channel for many different reasons. So one reason was it was an escape for me from my real life that was going on at that time. So it was an escape. I was dealing with my mum's dementia. We were trying to run a business at the time. There was a lot going on in my life at that time. So much that, just life things, a lot of things. Life, it was challenging at the time. And at that time, I realised how hard life was. And, you know, dealing with my mum's dementia, realising, you know, we need to really appreciate life now, and if you want something, you get it now. So I had decided I wanted a Chanel bag, just to simplify things. So I decided, and I had started doing research on Chanel bags and discovered YouTube, and then discovered certain YouTubers and watching them, and you know how it goes, you think you can do it because they make it look simple. So one was an escape, one was, oh, I could do that. Another thing, it was something I wanted to do for myself, and it was something that I thought I could do. I've reached an age where if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to ask somebody's permission to do something. So I want to upload to YouTube, I'm going to do it. Nobody's going to stop me. I don't need anybody's permission anymore to do what I do. So that's one thing, doing something that I want to do. It's an escape. And the other thing is, I wanted to bring awareness to dementia, and for me, talking about luxury bags was the easy way in, or at least that's what I thought. I thought unboxing a bag would be a way of me getting onto YouTube and kind of putting it out there. And I always said that once I reached 1,000 subscribers, I would then do a video on dementia. I would then start talking about dementia. But I found it really hard talking about dementia because I was talking about it, and really I was talking about my mum, and I didn't want to compromise my mum's dignity, and that's what made it really, really, really difficult. Separating the two was really, really difficult. So that was another reason I wanted to bring awareness of dementia, because at the time I tried to find videos about people that were actually looking after a family member with dementia, and at the time there wasn't any. It was all about people going into a home and taking their family member out for the day, but actually dealing with the day-to-day things of dementia, the true, what it's really, really like dealing with somebody that you love that has dementia. There wasn't any videos out there. So that was another reason I wanted to start my YouTube channel. And the other reason was I wanted to preserve me. Because dementia runs in my family, I wanted to preserve the real me, because I could see how much of my mum I had lost. So I wanted my children and my grandchildren to have my videos and remember their mum, their yaya, for who's the feisty woman that I am. And I didn't want them to remember me as the woman that sat in a chair and couldn't do anything for herself. And that was what I wanted. So, like a diary sort of thing. Is that vanity? I want my children to remember me. That's what I want. It took me, after I lost my mum, it's taken me a long time to remember my mum before dementia. Of course, you know, if I think back to certain moments I can, but the moments that always came back to me are the moments of my mum with her dementia. And I you know, of course that was part of our life at the time, but yeah, that's why I started my YouTube channel. So it's a very complicated thing as to why I started my YouTube channel. There was a lot, you know, there's a lot behind why I've started my YouTube channel. Yeah. Okay, I have another question here from Patricia, and this question was left on my YouTube video, and she asks, "Hi Andri, I'm pretty sure I wrote a comment the other day, blah 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 blah. Anyway, I do have a question. Have you ever had a complete stranger come up to you in the street and say that they watch your videos? I'd imagine that would be quite exciting." Okay, I have had that. Let me just picture here. I have had that happen to me. So I'll tell you the first time it ever happened to me and the last time it happened to me. I always really don't know how to react, if I had to be honest. So the first time it happened to me was really quite at the beginning of my YouTube, and I was out for dinner with friends, and it was a much older friend, and she had a walking frame. What do we call those things? What do we call it? She used to call it a wheelie. So I went to the ladies with her just to make sure she got in there okay, and I never ever spoke about my YouTube channel to anybody, and this was a much older friend, and she probably wouldn't have kind of understood the whole YouTube thing anyway. But this was a person that was very much into designer bags and all of that, and I had my Dior bag at the time. I think it was just probably when I just got my Dior bag, and I was in the ladies, and I can see this young lady looking at me, and she approached me and said, I watch, oh, you've got the bag, I watch your YouTube videos, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh really? Because I had this friend with me, and then I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to say, she doesn't know anything about my videos. And I wanted to be nice, but I was like, I was really, oh, I was really kind of, oh, I didn't know what to say. And I'm trying to kind of acknowledge, yes, but trying to not let this friend that I was out with for dinner with not know what this person was talking. Oh, honestly. And I was like, oh yeah, it was very much this kind of like, I didn't know what to say. I honestly, I was taken aback. And then we went back to the table, and then the friend said, Enrico was at the table and the friend's husband was at the table, and she says, you know, there was a lady in there saying she watches Andri on something in bags, and what was going on? And I'm looking at Enrico and I was like, I was still gobsmacked. Very unlike me, but so that was the first time it ever happened to me. Most recently, this just happened to me a couple of, probably just about a week ago. I was walking Lily and I could see a young lady, and she was kind of looking at me and she was smiling, and it's like, you know, we Scots are quite sociable people and we say hello to each other in the streets and blah blah blah. And she says to me, I watch your YouTube, you're so cool. And I'm like, oh really? I actually had my camera, but you know, I think she was a bit too young for me just to get out my camera and say, I kind of thought about it, do you want it, but you know, you need to be careful, you know, if you're under a certain age, and I didn't want to say, hey, well, what age are you? Not of that, but she was definitely under 18 anyway. So yeah, so I have, it's happened to me a few times, actually, quite a few times. Or I have people then, I have a lot of people message me to say, oh, I've just seen you walk past, blah blah blah, and I say, well, why didn't you say hello? So if you do see me and I'm kind of like, I am really a nice person, honestly. I just get kind of flustered, I think, that somebody acknowledges me, that they watch me. I don't know, it's so weird. Yeah, it really has happened to me. So yeah, Patricia, it's definitely happened. So that was the first time and the last time it's happened, but it does happen. Not only does it happen to me, but it happens to my family. They're recognised as well because they're on my YouTube videos. I remember the time Kelly was recognised, and Kelly was in the supermarket, I said, by the way, and I was messaged, and the person that had seen Kelly had messaged me to say she'd just seen Kelly with the two kids, and I said to Kelly, by the way, were you in such and such, and she was like, how do you know that? I said to you are spotted by somebody that watches my YouTube videos and recognised you. And Kelly's going, oh no, I was shouting at the kids at that time. So it's not just me that gets recognised, it's my family as well, which anyway, I think that's a lovely thing. It's a lovely thing. I just don't think I've learned how to cope with it yet. When somebody kind of, you know, says they recognise us, but anyway, it's all good, it's all good. The next question is our Pursetopia, and she asks, who is now if you know our Pursetopia, who in fact goes by a different name on YouTube, if you know her, you won't be surprised by her question. I find her comments quite amusing. So who is your favourite follower? I have many favourite followers. Now, in the same way we love our children differently. I mean, I love all my children. I have different relationships with all of you. So all of you that private message me, that leave me comments regularly, Pursetopia, and all of that, I think I have a different relationship with all of you. So in the same way that you don't, I'm not going to pick my favourite out of my children because I don't have a favourite, I'm not going to pick a favourite out of my internet friends either. So there you go, Pursetopia. Does that answer that question for you? Okay, next question comes from K Loves 3 LV and CC, who also used to have a YouTube channel as well, and she was really good at it. She says, hi Googla. Obviously we have, she's Greek here, so Googla means it's an endearment. I think if I actually translate it, it's hi doll, but it's very much an endearment when you say it in Greek. So she says, I want to see more cooking videos with you and hubby. I need to let Rico know. Love everything you cook and you're in great shape. What keeps you motivated? What keeps me motivated is I see results. I see the difference between me and somebody that doesn't work out. I can see a difference. I see the difference in my body shape, and it's something, quite honestly, it's something that I've always done, and I would really hate to see what size I would be if I didn't work out, because as you all know, I absolutely love food. I love to eat, and this week, in fact, I'm not going to work out at all because I have an injury. So I love to see the results. I love to see how fit I am, because I do work out, and you know, when my fitness goes down, I don't feel good. So it's all these things that really do motivate me. So yeah, and it has, you know, exercising has so many benefits for so many different things. So basically that's what motivates me. So thank you very much, Kelly, for asking me the question. Okay, the next one comes from our Sandy. Me Young Life, I think is her handle. She asks, hi my lady, so she always calls me Lady Andri, because I am in fact officially a lady. I don't know if you all know that, but I am actually officially Lady Andri. So she says, hi my lady, how do you handle people or close friends that make snide comments about your luxe items? Do you laugh it off or do you respond? Okay, I haven't had anybody make a snide remark to my face. I know of people that have made comments to other people about my handbags and my YouTube. You know, like, well, she's sitting there talking about her handbags, and I know of them, and I don't care. I don't care. I really, to me, that says more about them. I honestly don't think anybody's got the guts to say it to my face. You know, if one of these people said it, I don't think anybody has the right. They've not given me the money for it. It's my own money. I do as I please with it. If I choose to buy a handbag that costs so much money, that's my business. It's nobody else's business. So if somebody said to me, you know, why are you, I honestly, I can't see anybody saying that to me, to my face. If somebody says to me, God, that's stupid money you're spending on a handbag. Oh, do you know what, you're right, that is stupid money, but that's what I choose to do. That's my choice. It's not your money. It's not your problem. I don't think anybody's got the guts to say it to my face, to be quite honest. So I suppose I do kind of laugh it off, but good question. How do you handle it, Sandy? See, that's, you know, the other thing is, that's the thing about YouTube, because, you know, if I had carried any one of these bags in situations before I did YouTube, nobody would have known what these bags were worth, or, you know, my Cartier, because they're not into luxury, they're not into these things, so they would never have known. They would never have given them a second look. And that's the thing with YouTube, because I'm here on YouTube and I'm talking about these things, so people now that know me, that knew me before my YouTube, kind of now know what these things are worth. I mean, I know somebody found my YouTube channel from our kind of, let's say, Greek community found my YouTube channel and found it quite amusing to kind of send the link round to other people. So, well, I say to that person, thank you very much, because that just makes my channel grow. So there you go. So, you know, these people think they're doing these things and I don't hear about them. I hear about them, but they don't have the guts to say it to my face. I've come across these people and none of them have the guts to say it to my face, and the ones that do, I respect them more for it. I respect the ones that say, I've watched you on YouTube, I know about your YouTube. I respect them more than the ones that don't have the guts to say it. Basically, it says a lot about them. But thanks for the question, great question. I told you this was going to get juicy. It's going to get even juicier. COCO Supernova. So I used to watch COCO Supernova way before I had a YouTube channel. So she asked, please share your morning and night routine. Also, what is your favourite me time activity? Thank you so much, dear Andri. Lorelai's just, she's lovely. I've actually met Lorelai personally, so yeah. Okay, share my morning and night routine. My night routine is normally, I like to end the day with kind of just chilling down. So it's makeup off, showering, jammies on, glass of wine, and just chilling with Rico is my nighttime routine. My morning routine is, as soon as I wake up, I go to my phone. I know it's bad. I open up my phone and I check to see what's been going on. If I've uploaded a video, I check all of that, see what's going on. I'm up, I make the bed, I do a general tidy up, I do my workout, and that's it really. I mean, at the moment, that's all that's really going on. You know, I'm very much a person of routine, so each one of my days I know exactly. I don't need to really write down what I've got to do. You know, I don't really need a list because I'm very much a routine type of person. Pretty boring really. Lorelai also asks my me time activity. I think I have a lot of me time now because I never ever had me time when I worked, when I did everything else that I had to do. So my me time is, I'm not one for sitting in the bath and soaking in the bath and all of that. I haven't got the patience to lie back. You know, I've tried that. And I've tried to lie back in the bath and take a glass of wine and put all the lovely smellies and put a YouTube video, and I want out of it. I mean, my bath is a jacuzzi and all of that, and I'm kind of, I put the bubbles on and I was like, yeah, it's done, I'm out of here. My time is, I love, sometimes it's to sit down and edit a video. If I'm stressed, sitting down and editing a video for me takes my mind off of, you know, whatever's going on that I need to take my mind off of. Sitting with Rico with a glass of wine in the sitting room watching something together. He rubs my feet. So that's kind of my me time. I've got another question here from Desi Blonde Fozy. She asks, with your magnificent regimented cleaning routine and the dedicated workouts, what hobbies do you enjoy doing? YouTube. YouTube is the hobby that I enjoy doing. I think I'm even at a stage now where working out is not a hobby for me anymore. Working out is something that I do because I feel I have to do now. That's the stage I'm at. But YouTube is definitely my hobby that I love doing. I've started doing a bit of gardening, as you know, you'll all have seen me do, but my real hobby is YouTube. You know, the whole process of editing, I love it. I know some people don't like the editing part of it, but I really do enjoy it. This is one of the best hobbies I've ever had, and I just really enjoy every minute of it. And when I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. That's why it's a hobby. It's not something that I have to do. It's something that I do because I enjoy doing it. Next question, the luxury hybrid. She asks, have you ever had a negative experience in regards to interacting with other YouTubers? you know, yes I have. I think a lot of YouTubers have. I think you can see when YouTubers fall out on YouTube. You can definitely see it, especially with the big ones, because they're always very pally, and then they all fall out. And then even the middle of the road YouTubers, you can see they're all pally, and then all of a sudden there's no contact, you know. And none of us are stupid, we can all see that. And I've had YouTubers that have fallen out amongst themselves and have contacted me. I don't get involved. You know, if it's something that, you know, if it's two YouTubers that I know really well, that I'm really close to, then my priority would be for me to try and get them to resolve their problem. I would much rather they resolve their problem, because you know, things are said, things are done, and we should really let go of things. Now that said, that's it. I have spoken about this recently on one of my videos. I had another YouTuber make a video about me. She did not name me in this video, and I didn't react by making another video about her, because I knew that's what she wanted. She was desperate for her channel to grow. In fact, she told me she wanted to kind of make it a career for herself. And when she posted the video about me, I knew exactly this is what she was after. She was looking to get views. And let me tell you, she got the views on that video, but the video is now down. I know lots of people complained about that video. Lots of people that, friends of mine that follow me, had said to me that they had complained about that video. So I don't know if she decided to take it down herself or if YouTube took it down. I have absolutely no idea. And although she didn't name me, it was blatantly obvious that she was talking about me. She named that video, I can't even remember it now, but it was the thing that sticks out. It was a bigger YouTuber or big YouTuber copies me, or I can't even remember what it was. And I clicked onto it because I used to support her, and as much as I could, I used to tag her in videos. When she asked me for help, I would help her in whatever she wanted. She asked me for lots of different things, how to monetize her videos. She asked me how to if somebody copies your videos, how she would find out. I used to video it for her, and you know, anything she asked me, I would help her with, as I would do with anybody. And she would tell me a lot of private things. I don't know if they were true, I don't know if they were lies, I don't know any of it, but she would tell me a lot of things. And then she made this video that anything that her and I spoke about, I would make videos on, and she would say that I was copying her and I was getting my ideas from her, and honestly. So I decided I would private message her, and I screenshotted all the messages, because you don't come to this age and you don't back up yourself, by the way. So I messaged her and I said to her, look, I've done nothing but help you, you know, I know you know I'm not up for this YouTube drama, and I basically told her exactly what I thought. And I said to her I was very disappointed in her, because I had done nothing but try and help her. So to answer your question, yes, basically I have been personally attacked on YouTube by another YouTuber. So that was my main experience of another YouTuber. I'm a very upfront type of person, so if something annoys me, I'll say it. I have nothing to lose. YouTube is not my career, so if I want to say something, I'm going to say it. I'm not here to hurt anybody, to bring anybody down, but I'm honest and I say things as they are. You know, if I'm asking a question of a big YouTuber, I expect an answer. You know, don't put out a video, okay, about a certain item, and then when I ask you a question about that item, you don't answer me. Because, you know, if you've got that amount of subscribers, then you're employing people to help you, so there isn't an excuse. I know a lot of YouTubers say, oh, it gets so hard with all the comments coming, but when you're big, you can afford to pay people. You're making big money at that stage, so you can afford to employ people. When you're employing managers and this, that and the other, then those questions need to be answered. So if you don't think you can answer, I get, you know, just give a heart to all the ones that go, I love your videos and da thank you for this and blah blah blah, and you just at least give them a heart. At least read that person has taken the time to watch your video, leave a comment, more than likely left you a like. You know, have the decency to at least press a heart. And you know, see, when we go into YouTube now has, it's when you're answering somebody's question, they have, all you have to do is click on the answer. YouTube does all that. There's no excuse for it. So if I'm watching a YouTuber talking about the Lady Dior and I want to ask about the Lady Dior and you don't answer my question, and I ask it once, twice, 3 times and you choose to ignore me, then that annoys me. That really does annoy me. And then you come on and you start talking about all the trolls and I haven't got time for that. I unsubscribe. I really don't have the time. Okay, next question. I can't seem to find it. I'm sure there was a question here from Life Plasty, but I can't seem to find it. Who's another YouTuber. But anyway, I'm sure she asked a question about doing kind of the speed cleaning videos. I don't know, I've done a few cleaning videos, but for me it's like when I start cleaning, it's when you've got the camera, it's really not real. And I'll try and do it for you. I probably will at some point, but it would get quite boring because I tend to do the same routine week in, week. Okay, that is my Q&A. Thank you very much to everybody that took the time and was interested in asking me a question. I hope you have enjoyed it. It has been really quite long, as you can hear. I've had to stop filming in between times because I've had to go downstairs and do some filming for Rico, and it's really, honestly, I have been at this for hours. Poor me, I know. Okay, doing something that I enjoy. Anyway, cheers, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope it was juicy enough for you. And if you would like to see more videos from me, I'm going to link one here, and if you're not already subscribed, just press the A right here, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you very much, and cheers.